Welcome back. Here in Buffalo, history has been used as a foundation for future development, whether we're talking about Canalside or the Darwin Martin House.
A South Buffalo man is hoping that by reminding people of that neighborhood's past, it can also shape the future. And as Pete Gallivan tells us, he's done so by publishing a book that you might say is a collection of the unknown stories of South Buffalo.
It's a story decades in the making that all came together one night in this tavern on South Park Avenue.
The book started right here at Talty's.
Since 1999, this group of friends has been holding South Park reunions. Then after a number of years of sharing beers and stories, Roger Robert's Rainville thought,
I said to somebody ought to write a book about South Buffalo the way it was. We're always outside on the streets.
And that somebody turned out to be him.
It was an amazing area, not only South Park, but Abbott Road, McKinley, Seneca Street, First Ward, the Valley, Seneca, Babcock. I mean, they were all self-contained. I mean, you didn't have to leave the area to go shopping for anything. We had it all.
His book, South Buffalo the Way It Was, is 21 chapters and 250 some odd pages of the unknown stories that shaped not only a neighborhood, but a way of life.
South Park Avenue. I mean, when I drive down now and I flash back into the past and I look at where the stores used to be, okay, all the different places, and I wish that was back. There were stores up and down South Park, Seneca Street, Abbott Road.
One interesting twist to this is that Roger, even with all his South Buffalo pride and passion, was not born here. He actually was born in Quebec and is quick to point out that he is French-Canadian, not merely Canadian. Just as people in South Buffalo are quick to distinguish what part of the neighborhood from which they hail, be it the Ward, the Valley, South Park, Seneca, and so on.
Just talking back and forth, and just the guys coming in and saying, remember this, remember that, remember this, remember that, remember this guy, remember that guy, remember that bar or that restaurant or that delicatessen. Bars and delicatessens were all over the place. Right. I mean, there was numerous, and I thought, geez, it's all gone. So the way it was is part of the title because of that.
And so Roger's book is exactly that, a collection of South Buffalo stories documenting the characters, from boxing great Jimmy Slattery to former Mayor Jimmy Griffin, and lesser-known neighborhood legends like John Francis Big Red Carroll, who at 8'7" was known as the First Ward Giant. He talks about the landmarks, the taverns, the hangouts of the past, Harry's Pool Hall in South Park, the deco restaurants which dotted the neighborhoods and featured the self-proclaimed Buffalo's best cup of coffee. But most of all, he talks about the characters and day-to-day activities that all added to the fabric of a community that still lives in the hearts of so many. He hopes that by writing this book, he might be able to effect some change that could make some of those good old days part of the future.
People are reading it and they'll remember, maybe it's like, you know what? We'd like to get some of that back. Let's work at it some more.
And recreate some of the best chapters of the unknown stories of Western New York.